What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. In this episode we're going to be going over data types in PHP. PHP supports 10 primitive data types which can be used with variables to store data. You can store simple strings to numeric values and more complex types of data with the data types mentioned below. The first 4 data types are scalar data types, and the first one is boolean, which is either true or false, integer, which is a non-decimal number between negative 2,147,483,648 all the way up to positive 2,147,483,647. That's the mathematical number range within PHP. Then we have floats, which are numbers that can have a decimal point or a number as an exponent. Then we have strings, which is regular text in alphanumeric form. Then we have 4 compound data types, which are arrays, which can store multiple values in a single variable. We have objects, which stores data and information and how that data can be processed. Then we have callbacks or callables, which can be functions that are simple, or they can be object methods, including static class methods. Then we have Iterable, which is a pseudo-type introduced in PHP 7.1. It accepts any array or object implementing the traversable interface. Both data types are iterable using for each and can be used with yield from within a generator. Finally, we have 2 special data types, the resource, which holds a reference to an external resource that can be created and used by special functions, and null, which is a special data type that means void of a value or no value at all. So we're going to see a few examples within this video, and we'll see how they work. And then in upcoming videos, we'll go deeper into each type of data type. So let's open up our code editor. For these videos, I'll be using VS Code, but you can use any editor that you are comfortable with. Alright, so I'm going to create a new file and just call it datatypes.php. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so that way it'll be easier to see. I'm going to start off with my opening PHP tag and go to a new line. Let's go back to the browser for a moment. For the first example, we're going to go over the integers. So we can just copy this to the clipboard, go back to our editor, and we can paste it here. Since this is going to be a standalone file, I can remove the final closing part of the PHP tags and save that. Okay, so the first thing we see here is on line 3, we have a variable x assigned a value of 100. This is an example of an integer. And then on line 4, we have our var dump of the x variable, and I'll show you what that does down in the terminal window in a moment. Then we have on line 5, we're going to echo out a br tag, or we could also echo out a new line character if we're going to be using it in the terminal. On line 7, we have the y variable, which is assigned the value of negative 100. And then we're going to do the same thing with that one. We're going to var dump it, and then we're going to echo out br tags. So now let's go down to our terminal, and I'm going to type out PHP datatypes.php and just hit enter or return, and then we see that it shows us integer 100, that's from line 3 over here, and then integer negative 100. So let us, since we're using it on the command line, replace the br tags with a new line. Let's go back to the terminal and repeat that, and now you see we have integer 100, integer negative 100. So var dump is giving us the value of what x is and also the type. So this is one way you could check for the type of a specific item that you're checking against. Alright, so that's integers. Let's go back to the browser. The next example we're going to look at is strings. So let's copy this, go back to the editor. I'm going to paste that here. We do not need the opening and closing PHP tags because we're staying within that same file. Okay, so we're creating another variable here. We're going to assign it the value of a string. So PHP powers almost 80% of the modern web. That's in double quotation marks. Could also be in single quotation marks. And then here on line 13, we're going to echo out var. Go down to the terminal. And then you see here, we have it printed out, PHP powers almost 80% of the modern web. So this is an example of a string right here. Okay, let's go back to the browser. Now we're going to go to our float examples. Back to the editor. Go to the next section, or to a new line. Again, we're gonna remove these PHP tags. We're also gonna wanna echo out another new line here. Okay, so for this one, we have a decimal point within our number. So this is a float. So we have the z variable. We're assigning the value of 50.35. Then we're gonna var dump z, and then we're just gonna echo out a new line, so it'll be on a new line, or at least the following item will be. We have the new line character over here as well. All right, so make sure you save that. Let's go back to the terminal. And you see that it shows float 50.35. That's for the value z. Let's go back to the browser. Now, I'm just going to grab it in this manner. We're going to be going over booleans. Let's go back to the editor. Go to another line. Let's paste that in. All right, so with booleans are true or false. It could be represented by the words true and false. It could also be represented by the integer 0 for false, a floating point number 0.0, an empty string, an array with 0 elements, the null value, and also part of a conditional. When we're talking about if conditionals, you can check if a certain condition is true, then do the following statements. Else, do something else. That is a true or false type situation. And we're going to go more into conditionals in upcoming videos, but for now, this is just a basic example. So here, we're going to assign the value false to a variable, not true. Then we're going to var dump, not true. And for this echo, we are going to remove the BR tags since we're using our terminal for this. Just put a new line character there. And we'll save that. Down below, we're doing the same thing, but this time we're going to say is true. And we're going to var dump that. Remember, this is just a basic example. As we go on through these videos, I'll be showing you more examples of each of the data types. All right, so save that file. Let's go back to our terminal. So we see the first one is Boolean false, and then the second one is Boolean true. Okay, let's go back to the browser. I'm going to copy this one for arrays. And let's go back to our editor. We go down here to a new line. On this one, we're creating a variable called OS and assigning it the value of an array. And then inside the array, we have a couple of strings, a few strings here, Linux, Windows, and Mac OS. You might also see it done in this manner with square bracket notation. And this is another way to create an array. This is the new array, and this is the older way that you're going to see. Both are correct and both are fine to use. So let's go down to our terminal and let's run the PHP Data Types.php command. And we see when we var dump it, this is the first one, we get array with 3 items. Arrays start at 0, not 1, so that's something you're going to have to be mindful of. And the first item in the array is a string with 5 tokens or 5 characters. In position 1, which is Windows, we have a string with 7 characters. And then in position 2 is Mac OS with 5 characters. So just get familiar with that concept. Get comfortable with it. Arrays start with 0 and move forward. When we talk about the data type of arrays in an upcoming video, we'll talk about the off by 1 issue that sometimes you might face. And we'll talk about some other things you're going to have to keep in mind when dealing with arrays. Okay, let's go back to the browser. We're going to grab this right here, copy it, go back to the editor. And now we're creating a class here. Okay, so a very brief introduction to a class. This is part of object-oriented programming. Pretty much we are defining our class here. This is like a blueprint. And then we have a variable or what's called a property within a class. We're giving it the visibility of public, and we'll go more into this in our videos about object-oriented programming. But for now, we're creating a public property or a public variable of text, assigned the value of hello. And then we have our function, which is a method in a class, display text, return this text. And then on the bottom, we're creating the object from class. We're assigning the message variable the value of new welcome. So this is how you actually create the object itself from the class. And then we're going to var dump message, and let's see what happens. Go down to the terminal, hit the up arrow, and you see we have object, welcome, text, string with 5 characters, hello. This is a very basic example of a class and an object. All right, let's go back to our browser. Then let's go back to the editor, paste that in. Okay, so what we're doing here, we are showing you what null is, and also showing you that you can replace a variable. Variables are temporary containers, right? So here we have a variable x assigned a value of high. That's a string high. But now on line 55, we're saying that x is going to be assigned a value of null, which is void of a value. And then we're going to var dump x. So at this point, we're pretty much emptying the x variable. Let's go to the terminal, hit the up arrow, and then enter. And then you see the value is null. But if we comment this out, and then go back to the terminal, hit the up arrow, enter, the variable has the value of high. So null means it just has a void value. There's no value whatsoever. Okay, so to recap, we have an example of an integer. We have an example of a string. We have an example of a floating point or floats. We have an example of Booleans with PHP with either true or false. We have an example of an object, and we have the example of the array. Now, the other data types that I mentioned in reference to resources, callbacks, iterables, we're going to be covering those more in depth in the upcoming videos, especially when we start talking about functions and when we're talking about arrays. That's where callbacks and iterables are going to be very helpful. And then when we're talking about databases, or even sometimes functions, that's where the resources or the references will be when we talk more about the resources data type. Let's go back to the browser. So again, all these code snippets you can find on my website, PixemWeb.com/PHP. Then you can click on the table of contents for the various tutorials I have here. And I'm creating more tutorials as time goes by. So definitely bookmark the website and check out the associated videos. And if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon so that way whenever I create new videos, you'll be notified. Data types are an important thing to understand within PHP, and moving forward, we're going to get a lot more hands-on experience with them. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification icon, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy coding!